Dr. Sproul.
Yes.
Dr. Sproul.
Hello.
Now you know where we're located.
Yes, and I heard a rumor this morning that they might have an NFL team out there next year.
Dr. Sproul, where does evil come from?
Oakland.
Where is that?
Oakland.
Dr. Sproul, my name is Jan Blythe, and I'm from Oakland.
This is my Diet of Worms. You know, when Martin Luther was called before the Roman Catholic Church at the Diet of Worms in 1521. Of course you would know that. One of these dark suits is not like the others, let me tell you that.
Dr. Sproul?
Hello.
Do you remember inviting Dr. MacArthur to that conference, and do you remember meeting him there?
Yes.
I'm guessing this is on the heels of Gospel According to Jesus, a few years after that.
I mean, look at that face.
We would translate it something like, put your minds down on this one thing, which is essentially the, man, I have got the itchiest nose. Would you mind? I have just got to scratch my nose something cruel because I can't preach for scratching my nose. It's driving me nuts.
Very pressing questions, urgent questions, and the first one is to Dr. Thomas. Why is your cat paranoid? And there's a follow-up.
She lives.
What? Hold on, there's a follow-up. What have you done to comfort him or her?
This has to be a cat person. We've had a cat, not the same cat, but we've had a cat since we were married. This one lives with 2 dogs, and she's called Chloe. She lives upstairs, and she appears maybe for 15 minutes every day, and bawls and wants food, and that's about it. She's you may stroke her once. If you go for twice, you're putting your life in your hands. But I promised her I would see her through to death, but she's still alive.
We can't separate those, but we must distinguish them, or all kinds of mischief takes place.
Fully God, fully man, with all the reasonableness of man.
Well, I prefer truly God and truly man,
Truly God and truly
because
man.
it can be confused.
One eternity later.
That's why we like to say vera homo, vera deus, truly God, truly man. You're with me
That's
on
what
that.
I meant. That's what I meant.
I knew that's what you meant. Why, Johnny Mac, do you always make me have to define what you meant?
I heard you say something, and I knew he was going to come back.
Tell him what it was.
When you said that in Christology it's vital to affirm that Jesus was fully God and fully man. And having been there before, I just backed up knowing what was going to come.
He liked truly, rather than
I know.
Yeah.
confusion.
Yeah, so he just came back because he said, that's not wrong, it's just not right. Because fully means that there's a content that is either full or medium full or empty. It's not content, it's ontology. It's truly God and truly man. And I'm just thinking,
Do you remember what I said? I said, yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, when I first moved my office home, it was in a couple of weeks, Patricia came to me and she said, I think you ought to take your office back to the church. I said, why? She'd never received rejection at the level that she'd received it in the weeks that I came home.
I feel your pain. I know it.
Yeah, because it's hard, and she was so excited when I came home. She was going to give me lunch, and pretty soon she was trying to find the flattest pizza in the place so she could slide it under the door.
Now, and grandchildren don't make that any easier, do
then
they?
they bring the grandkids over.
Yeah.
Then what are you going to do? No, when we had kids, I couldn't have my office at home. Then the kids were gone, and now the grandkids come, and they don't knock. Grandkids don't knock. They just come flying in.
Yeah,
Grandpa.
my granddaughter will sneak up behind me and grab the office chair and turn it around and make me look at her.
And you love every minute. You realize
Oh.
this is damaging to the kingdom, but it's so wonderful.
By the way, if you've been at the conference and you've been detached from your telephone and you're missing Fox News because you're an evangelical, so you miss Fox News, it's part of the deal. You get saved, you watch Fox, you get a gun permit. Okay, so it's true though, isn't it? It is true, yeah. I just saw that Fox News is reporting O.J. Simpson wants to become a TV evangelist. No kidding. Following after apparently his new favorite teacher, Frederick Price. So we can all look forward to that in about 28 years when he is finally sprung. All right, you're up to speed.
How would you define a false teacher, and how much error is allowed before they are considered false?
Vesta's going to be really after me after this Q&A, because every time you ask a question, I have to ask Al what it is you said. The one thing I have in common with my mentor is he was deaf as a doornail, and I'm getting there quickly. But my hearing aids interfere with my breathing, and I have to choose between hearing and breathing.
You talk a lot about the lack of faith in Europe. Is there any hope there?
You tell them about your ministry, Tony.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on. I've actually just set up a ministry called Hope for Glasgow.
Why is that funny? You're just really funny. People think you're funny.
That's your fault. So there's plenty of hope.
Did you plant that question?
People have been hitting the Twitter thing all day, and it was kind of interesting. They told me today that it was the #1 hashtag Twitter thing in the world, Strange Fire Conference. So that's pretty interesting. In fact, I was told that we were several points ahead of Kim Kardashian.
Ooh. Now we're relevant.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Please give us the 2 or 3 books that have impacted you most besides the Bible.
Number 1 is easy, The 5 Fundamentals of the Golf Swing by Ben Hogan.
And I'm ready. If the Lord would say, step aside, in a year, fine. That's fine with me. I'm not trying to hold on for my own sake. I just...
The Lord doesn't say things outside of the Bible, so...
No, I know, yeah. But I mean, if well, why do so many people give me so much advice? I wonder. But
Chris, all this shows us that every great man has an Achilles heel somewhere.
Sinclair's Achilles heel is that when you announced how inexpensive it was to sign up for next year's conference, I had to hold him back. The Scotsman wanted to follow all the Dutchmen out of the door and sign up immediately.
Does Ligonier take Scottish pound notes?
Oh, boy. All right.
You
You started it.
I
Come on,
did.
you
I did.
started it.
No, it was their fault. Somebody asked the cat question.